Welcome to Stage, Screen, and In Between with Helen. I'm HELEN Proimos, and tonight I'm at a fabulous show, Cabaret, which is going to be opening at the Shawnee Playhouse. Stay with us. I am with Herr Director, Midge McClosky. Midge, you did a fabulous job making everybody do the right thing. It was such a great show. Everybody was spot on. I loved it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
They're an amazing cast, and I have an incredible creative team, so that makes it
and
possible.
the talent is spot on, and the dancing, the singing, the acting, the whole ball of wax.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So we have like I said, we have a wonderful creative team. Naomi Naughton, who's the choreographer, she takes care of all the Kit Kat dancers in the club, and then I've been focusing mostly on the acting relationships with my principal characters,
Right.
and then along with the lighting and the sound and all the costumes and the rest of the elements coming together. It's so exciting to see it coming to its feet.
Yeah. So now you told me that you have directed probably about 70 shows here at the Shawnee Playhouse. You want to give a little history of the Shawnee Playhouse?
Oh, my pleasure. So this beautiful building was actually built in 1904 by a man by the name of C.C. Worthington. And he also built many of the other historic buildings in this area, including the Shawnee Inn and Golf Resort, as well as several other homes and things. But he moved here looking for a place to start kind of his new businesses. He was involved with the steam engine, and so he had money for that, and so he was looking for a new place to develop. And I think he was coming in and really making a huge impact in the community, so he decided to create a community hall, which was Worthington Hall. It began in the beginning just as like a place for weddings and funerals and parties, but always theater. In 1906 is when they started with theater here.
Really?
And then it was sold in the late 40s, early 50s, I forget exactly, I'm sorry, when it was sold to Fred Waring. I think it was 1943, actually. He began doing his radio show here. You might have heard of Fred Waring and the Pennsylvanians.
Yes.
So that was a famous touring group of musicians that went all around the United States, and he was known as the man who taught America to sing. So he had his very first television show with live entertainment. But in this building, he recorded his radio show. And then it was
And here I am recording a TV show.
Exactly.
Hey, Fred.
Exactly. And so Mr. Waring was here for several years, and he renamed it the Shawnee Playhouse. And then the Kirkwood family purchased it in 1978. In 83, it burned to the ground, and they rebuilt it to try to make it look as much as they possibly could as it did originally. All the stone structure and everything outside is still, original, as is it. The downstairs area is all original. And then they've been the owners ever since. I began working here in 2006, and I had, all things be told, I didn't really direct much before that. I was an actress.
I was going to say, were you an actress?
Yes, I was an actress, still am. But I was an actress primarily. And when I was given this job, I realized one of the best assets that I have is that I understand actors and understand what they need. And I started directing out of necessity because there's a lot of shows that we do, and I found that I love directing. I love teaching. I love acting more than anything, but I love directing. And what's really cool about this particular season is I've known Matt since he was a little boy. That's the gentleman playing Cliff.
Yeah.
I've known Annalee since she was a little girl.
That's something.
And so, a lot of the cast that's in here, I've known them since they were little children, and I feel blessed to have trained them,
Yes.
but also to watch them grow and to go away and do beautiful things elsewhere, and then to choose to come back here.
Right, they chose to come back, right? They
exactly.
choose. So tell everybody, what is your audition process like?
So our audition process, we're having auditions very soon, actually. We are open to everyone, whether you have experience.
What's your next show after this?
Oh, after this we have original plays,
Oh.
a festival, and then we have a play that's called Thorn Rose. It's a new musical. And then we have 12 Angry Jurors and another very funny comedy called Cold Feet about an Italian wedding and an Irish wake double booked in the same venue. And so those auditions are coming up very soon.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
you can just come in if you've always just been interested in trying it, especially for the original works. There's if you don't want to memorize, we have things you can read. Like, there really is a place for everyone here. And if you are experienced and have worked as a professional and are looking for a new theatrical home, hi, come see us.
So, how do you work with? What do you work with first? Do you work with the acting part? Do you do then the choreography, or is it all mingled together?
Well, in this process, because Naomi worked on it with me, she really took the choreography and I took the ensemble. Also, we have Todd Dean, who's doing the music, so he would work with the vocal parts. My focus is, as the director, is the overview, how the whole picture comes together, set, costumes, making sure everything works together. My costumer is my son for this production, and my son Billy is studying fashion design at Kent State, and this is an opportunity for him to try, come to try something different. He's never done this. So his costuming has just been fabulous, and he's got great skills. And I've been enjoying saying to him, no, fix that or change this here or do that. And working together with him has been a real gift. And then like the set also, it's like envisioning what I want for the set.
Who builds your sets?
Well, we have a lot of volunteers that help us, but a lot of it I'm doing myself too, and my kids and my
because it's
community.
nice the way you have the doorway and the way you have the landing there and the cabaret lights and all. It's very effective.
Yes.
It's kind of an easy set though, because with the tables and the chairs and the lights, it's a club, so it really carries through the whole show.
Right. Thank you. That's the hope, that it seems alive at the club and dull at the house. That's dull at the house and popping at the club.
Yeah. So, is there anything that you want to tell people as far as getting into show business?
I would say no matter how young or old you are, please give it a try. I know I always tell people when they say, oh, I should have done that when I was younger. And I say, what are you, 55, 60? When they're like, I've never done it. And I say, you walk into an audition, I'd rather cast a person who's the right age for a role than cast someone who's too young, younger and make them older.
Yeah, I wanted to mention something about your casting. I think everybody was really spot on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Even the woman that played the Fraulein, she is young in person, but she gave the illusion of being an older woman somehow.
Right. So my casting with Kerri-Leigh was very specific. She's the woman who's playing Fraulein Schneider. It's hard. You have to find a woman who can be stoic and firm, but that you still have compassion for.
Yeah, she did that.
She carries that in her personality. Yes. So with casting, I'm always looking for the character traits that I'm looking for actually in the person. Like you can't change what aura you present. Yeah. If you want to go there and talk about colors and aura and things like that. So Kerri-Leigh has this welcoming vulnerability about her that I made her more harsh than she is by nature. Yeah. So, but her vulnerability always remains. And Dirk, who plays Herr Schultz, he is just a darling. So no matter what he does, you just love him.
Yes.
So it's like.
So how many people tried out for, let's say, the role of Sally Bowles?
We had over 120 people audition.
Really?
But I knew that we were casting Annalee before we even. She's fantastic.
Yeah. She's really, really good. And I was telling her, she really looked good in the black wig at the beginning. I really thought that was her. And what a difference in the look, the aura, when she takes the wig off. She's so much softer.
Vulnerable,
right. Yeah.
So that's something that's not always done with this show. It came to us when she was doing rehearsals, and I said, I want you in your own hair when you're in the apartment, when you're with him. I want you to just take off your stage and be you, and so I think that's accomplished. So I'm really
what do you think about Cabaret from the historic viewpoint?
You mean about
going back
politics?
In time, because politics and we were closer to that time than the young people on stage now. Right. So we learned about that in history. I don't even know if they teach that anymore. So did that bring back anything to you, remembering maybe what your parents told you or what you learned in school about the time, how people really thought it wasn't going to get any worse? And we know how bad it got, Well,
I think it becomes evident that we always live in a cycle of time. And so, when you're talking about even COVID and we're saying, it can't be that big of a deal. Yeah. Well, the Nazis can't be that big of a deal, right? Yeah. Like, life is it's cyclical.
Yeah.
It comes around. And for me, I saw the new version on Broadway a few weeks ago, and I prefer this version, the original.
Really?
I felt like there was a lot of shock factor there, and I feel like what really works is, for example, the scene where Joey, the MC, is singing about if you could see her the way that I see her, and singing it, and it's funny, and she's in a gorilla costume, and she's dancing on point, and you're laughing and thinking it's hysterical, and then he says, "You wouldn't, if you could see her like I do, you wouldn't know she was Jewish." Right? Yeah. And that makes you go from laughing to being embarrassed and being in pain. And that's what this show is about. It's about living your life and all of a sudden being smacked across the side of the face and going, wait a second, I should not be enjoying this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that's really kind of what happens in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with picking Cabaret? Did you have a variety of choices, or was that something you said, I want to do Cabaret?
Oh, Helen, we were going to do Chicago.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, but Chicago's going on a national tour, so it got pulled from us. And so I said, what is like Chicago? What has a bunch of girls that are half dressed and great dancing? And
you know, and I'll tell you something. I realized how young they were when I saw them on the stage, because I'm saying, I couldn't have done that role.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. They're
really,
gorgeous.
Really, yes, and the high kicks and the shakes and the back bends. I don't think so.
Well, that's what we have them for.
Yeah,
we've all served our time.
Right,
we've all done that.
And I gave them a really good round of applause anyway. So, Midge, thank you very much. Is there anything else you want to say to anybody?
No, come see the shows.
Come see the show. Do you have the dates?
Sure. We open on July 19th, and it runs for 4 weekends.
Great. I'm going to see it again. Right now I'm with Matthew Amori, and he had one of the leads role as Cliff. What a fantastic show you guys put on tonight. And this isn't even opening. This isn't even really dress rehearsal night, but you guys are ready.
Well, thank you. And we put a lot of work into this show, especially over the last 2 weeks. Everything's really come together, and I'm really liking it. It's a lot of fun to do this show.
Yeah.
And the cast around me is fantastic. So.
And you have quite an amazing range. When you were singing, you hit that high note. I'm like, wow, I give him credit.
Thank you. I don't know. I guess that kind of comes from studying opera, because that's mostly what I do.
Really?
So yeah. So this is very much different from what I'm used to doing. So.
What are you used to doing?
Well, opera. and honestly, most of the stuff that I do with musical theater, it's mostly singing roles. So this is wildly different. And it's so much fun.
Is it your first time at Shawnee Playhouse?
No, this is my 4th show here, but this is definitely the biggest role I've had in any of the shows.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in before this, My Fair Lady, and I was Freddie Einsford Hill in that show. And that was a lot of fun. But coming here to do this, completely different, but so much fun.
Yeah. So where do you perform opera?
Right now, I'm going into my senior year up at Ithaca College. I'm a music performance major up there.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you're on summer vacation now.
Yes.
Oh, so you're from the area?
Yeah, about 5 minutes away, actually. So very local.
Does singing run in your family? Because
yes.
that's real. Why do you say it like that?
My family is like full of musicians. My great grandfather owned a music shop in Scranton. My grandmother had sung in like church choirs for a long time. My dad still plays saxophone with the Riverside Rhythm that plays over at the Shawnee Inn. Mm-hmm. And he sang when he was in school. Music runs in the family. I'm the first singer in a while, though. I'll tell you that.
Well, you did very good with the acting too.
Well, thank you very much.
Kerri-Leigh Taylor. She played a very, very convincing Fraulein. I really thought you were German.
Well, thank you.
What is a Fraulein who?
Fraulein Schneider.
What a cute little role that is. Not a little role. She has a lead role, but she plays the owner of the hotel, the rooming house, right? Of the boarding house. And you had such a very sweet way about you. You really were very convincing. I really was convinced that you were a German woman and that you were running this place. You were very good.
Well, thank you. It's been a lot of fun to get to explore this character and to work with this cast specifically. So
Right. Have you played here at the Shawnee Playhouse before?
I have. I've been fortunate enough to get to be part of several projects here. So
Okay. What are some of the other ones?
last year I got to be in Calendar Girls here, and I've gotten to be in several comedies and in a couple of the other musicals. But it's been a little bit since I was in a musical here. So
Yeah. So, what was there anything that was challenging in getting to your role down?
actually, for me, the accent was very challenging. So yes, so I'm glad that you liked it.
Yeah. You were very good. Yeah.
yeah.
So, were you familiar with the story of Cabaret before you did this?
Yes, there's been many different versions of the story, so I have not ever seen the original adaptation, which is the one that we're doing, but the music is so timeless, and it's such an important story that we're telling right now.
It is. It really goes back into time before the Nazi occupation, and you don't really think that what happens is going to happen. Interest.
Yeah.
Doesn't believe it's things are going to change in Germany, and of course we all know now in retrospect that they did.
That's right. Yes. And my character has a very difficult choice, and so I'm very fortunate to be able to give voice to that story.
Yeah. And what about the pineapple? I thought the way you handled the pineapple was so cute. The pineapple is symbolic. Pineapple shows a welcoming, right? And it also has some kind of an erotic message to it, right? Getting a pineapple.
I guess people will just have to come and see, right?
Yeah. They're going to have to come and see. But that's a very cute scene with a pineapple, which is funny and sweet at the same time. I'm with Alex DiDuca, and he had a very interesting role in Cabaret. Alex, tell everybody what your role was.
Hello, everyone. My role is Ernst Ludwig.
Okay, and you play a Nazi, right? Actually, you try to convince people to join the party. Is that correct?
This is true, yes.
Okay, so you had a very convincing accent. Are you part German?
No, I'm Italian and Hungarian.
Really? Well, you did a good job, and you have a very nice singing voice too.
Oh, thank you. I get it from my mother.
Yeah. Is this your first show here at Shawnee Playhouse?
No, this is not my first show here.
Okay. How many shows have you done?
So I'm an intern here at the Shawnee Playhouse, and this is my second summer here, so my fourth show, maybe fifth.
Okay. So what does that mean when you say you're an intern?
So as an intern, I help around the theater by cleaning up. We get here early before shows, clean up the theater, restock necessities, and you know, we learn a lot from Midge McClosky, our executive director, and I'm very thankful for that.
Oh, okay. And you love acting and you love theater?
Oh, absolutely. Nothing else I'd rather do in this world.
Okay, I am with the star, Annalee Paige, and she plays Sally Bowles. Wow, you did such a great job.
Thank you so much.
I really loved the show. I mean, it was right on. The music was great. The acting was great. You had everything together. It was like I was sitting at opening night, I have to say.
The cast has been working extremely hard. We feel very
How many
close.
rehearsals do you have?
Oh, well, we only have one left before opening.
No, how many did you have up to this point?
We've been rehearsing for about 2 months, on and off. Yeah. About 20 rehearsals. Yeah, it's been a quicker process.
So what did you like best about your character?
What do I like best about her? Well, I love that she has this charismatic, rebellious spirit, and she enters into the room, and wherever she goes, she is the center of attention, and she's fun, and she's flirty, but she has this depth to her, and it's very exciting to play a role where you get to show all different parts.
Are you similar to her?
In some ways, I think. She's a lot more outgoing than I am, and that's very fun to play.
Well, you're beautiful, so I'm sure that when you walk into a room, you get a lot of attention.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very sweet.
So the story, once again, is a pre-war Germany before the Nazi invasion, and it takes place in a cabaret, right? And you love the cabaret in the Kit Kat Club.
Tongue twister.
And this story has been told. Some people who have not seen the play don't know how it's going to end. A lot of people know because they see every version of it, right? Whether Liza Minnelli played it in the movie,
Yes.
right? Did you watch the movie?
I have seen the movie. The movie is very different from the stage adaptation.
Yeah, it usually is. Sometimes even the music is different.
So I think a lot of people come with the expectation that it's all glitz and glamour, and then they see the story unfold in the way it does. And I think
Yeah.
it's a bit of a shock,
There's a sadness to it.
a great sadness to it. Yes,
Yeah.
it's very emotional.
Okay, go ahead.
For me, the writing and the story is so potent in itself that I don't find that I need to go to any like personal experience, because what I'm hearing and experiencing on stage is dramatic enough to take me to that place. So really just listening and understanding what was going on at that time and what's happening on stage in the moment.
Stepping aside from your character, would you have gone with your love or not? Or is your love the cabaret?
Her love's the cabaret. Yeah. I think that is the whole
That's the whole
the
thing.
whole, that's the whole
There
thing.
was
yeah.
a line you said in it, something about I'm still me. You know, I have to be me,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what it boils down to.
Time and time again, this story plays out in her life, and maybe she thought this time was different, but at the end of the day, that is who she is, and that was probably ultimately the choice she was going to make, without giving too many spoilers away.
So now, where did you get your training? Did you get your training here at the Shawnee Playhouse?
So I started doing shows here at the Shawnee Playhouse when I was 11 years old. So, and I haven't been back here in over 9 years because I
Really?
Yes. So this is my first show back,
Good for you.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
and it feels exactly like that. This is where I got my start, and it feels so nostalgic, and I'm so lucky to still have this community here that I do and get to share the stage.
Shawnee Playhouse has
So
a great reputation. All the talent is top notch for every show that you see, and it's a compliment to you that you were chosen, because it shows that you have the talent and everything that goes with it, or you wouldn't have gotten the role.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is that a compliment?
I don't know.
I don't know. I meant it as a compliment. I meant.